a very young individual, and things that a child would have no idea of unless these things happened. Just like stark white, just like looks like a ghost. And she was like, this is what they just said, what the f? And along those lines, I can't remember the exact conversation, but I'll never forget the look on his face. He was just like oh, f, they caught me.
Your biological father, is it okay if I go
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Is a child molester. You had a very traumatic event at age 12 that changed your life and gave you a new purpose to protect innocent. And you consider yourself a very spiritual person. So we bring a lot of hope to the hopeless in this podcast, whether that's military veterans, children. Now we're starting to dive into sex exploitation and sex trafficking. And in all of these realms, people that experience this amount of trauma, they feel hopeless. And so let's start with your childhood with your dad, and I'm unfamiliar with the event.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, no worries. So my mom got pregnant with me from my dad at 19, had me at 20. And to start kind of giving some background on him, he tried to force her to have an abortion, really tried to, get her to get rid of me, and treated her horribly, and left a picture. My mom was like, I'm gonna fucking raise this kid, and she did, and had me. He came back around when I was about 6 or 7, I think 7, kind of trying to get to know me and be involved, and or I might have been 5, excuse me. They got married, I think, when I was 7. Got back together and stuff. He was around for about 4 or 5 years. And I mean, he was, now today, knowing what it is, domestic violence and domestic abuse. I mean, screaming, throwing Christmas trees across the room, breaking all the ornaments, putting holes and dents.
You remember all those?
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
how old were you when you started? When
I started recognizing it, I mean, I was probably maybe 9 or so.
Shit.
8 or 9. Never saw him put hands on my mom. She never talked about that or anything. But I mean, he would fucking scream and scream and scream. Do it to me. Just, I mean, uncontrollable temper. And kind of just progressed from there. I want to say, my older brother was born in 2010. My little sister would have been born, 2008, I think, or something like that. 2000, I was 9, 2007, maybe 2008 or 2007, I think. So she was born first. And she was about 2 or 3. My older brother had just been born. He was a baby, newborn. And, I'm sitting, he had, come to find now, I've got like 7 like half siblings out there from him.
Really?
Found out he's kind of, one of the things he gets off on is like impregnating women and things like that. And he's got kids all over the place. And so I knew about a half brother at the time, and so he would bring him around here and there into the family. When we were little, we were connected. I don't know if close is the right word, but we were siblings. And he would get him on weekends or for a week or 2 at a time. We were sitting in my room in our house in Vacaville, California, and just like playing on a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 or something. That day, kind of I don't want to share too much of other people's stories, but, some things were said by one of my family members that day, that he was touching them, sticking things up them, anything you can imagine. It was from the mouth of a very young individual, and things that a child would have no idea of unless these things happened. And he comes in, and my mom confronts him, and he's just like stark white, just like looks like a ghost. And she was like, "This is what they just said. What the fuck?" And along those lines, I can't remember the exact conversation, but I'll never forget the look on his face. He was just like "Oh fuck, they caught me" look. And he was like, holy like it just, world came crashing down. And called the police. On top of that, he worked for CPS, for Child Protective Services.
He worked for Child Protective Services.
Worked for Child Protective Services. Worked at the police station, friends with all the local police and stuff. Obviously, my mom called the police, and they were his buddies coming to the door, pretty much, and separated him from the house. I think she went down to the police station that day, if I remember right. And I hung out at the house with a family member, and then from there, just kind of kept spiraling.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes, so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.